You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Common sense, comedy, and freedom. You found the defenders of American exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
I almost forgot to hit the button.
Really?
I did. I was like, oh, crap, we're live.
Really? You? No.
I know, right?
You would never
Right.
forget to hit the button. Never would you do that.
And yet I did. And it's just, I couldn't help it.
See, when I leave it in your control, things go wrong too. I mean,
It's a bad day for everybody, really.
oh,
You
well,
are listening to Defenders of American Exceptional. We are live on Facebook, on the Twitters, which is Periscope. We are live on
Facebook, YouTube,
No,
Twitter.
I was trying to think of all the things we're officially live on at this moment. The platforms. It's
Uh,
Facebook, Periscope, YouTube.
Twitter.
That is Twitter.
Yeah.
Periscope.
Okay. And then you also have Spreaker.
Well, we are
We
live
are
on
live
Spreaker,
Spreaker,
which
yes.
will be later delayed to iHeartRadio.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera.
Every radio podcasting
Everything you can
broadcast
think of
that you
is-
can
yeah.
think of. It is there.
We're there.
Yes.
We are.
And Dylan is a lumberjack.
Wow.
And he is okay.
Excuse me, just before we get this started.
It doesn't matter. It's already started, dude.
No, I know. I see. I'm debating if I really want to start something right now because
I mean, you can. It's
I can.
okay. I mean,
we should.
Yeah, I mean,
I could bring this to attention that
who?
that Bradley
Uh-huh.
has the nerve to make fun of me of being a lumberjack and et cetera, et cetera. I don't have the bricks, by the way. That would be hilarious.
That would be really good.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Okay. But it's funny he has enough time to come on here and poke fun at me
But
about
you know,
my attire, but I have to get up at 4 a.m. to get on an airplane at 5 a.m., so I can't join the show live.
yes, and Wendy did start it, by the way.
Still, Wendy, I mean, well, I could tolerate Wendy doing it. That's fine. I'm picking on Brad because Brad's like,
Okay. I mean, pick on Brad.
I can't do it tonight, guys, because I need to get my beauty sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then here he is. So
here
I'm
he
not
is.
complaining. I figure I would point out the hypocrisy
We like you
that
here.
it is.
We like you here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Same with you, Lance. We see you on.
You realize
You
that
can comment.
it's we're like a drug, an irritating. It's like, no, we're not a drug.
No.
We're a train wreck. We're a car crash.
Yes.
And it's one of those, I've got other important things to do. I don't want to do this. I've got to, no, let's just see.
Let's just see what it is.
Let's just see.
Yeah.
And then when it's over with, you're like,
Why did I
oh.
watch that?
Well, not just that. That's part of it. But you also sit there and go, well, pray for him. God help them all. And you go
on with your life.
You go on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. It is Saturday night. Y'all could be doing anything anywhere else in the
Literally
world.
anything.
And you're here. Dude, we appreciate it so much.
Exactly.
So I have my stuff put on. So we got a great show planned for y'all this evening.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be talking about North Korea.
Uh-huh.
Little Kim
Mm-hmm.
is back in the
Kimmy.
news again. Yay. What else do we have going on? We will be doing
A
a
little bit of
Defender
a-
Define of Victimhood.
Yes.
That's, we're going to be touching on that in
That'll be somewhere in the
at
middle of
some
the show.
point.
Somewhere in the show.
It's a living show, and we put it where we damn well please.
Unlike our Constitution, it is living.
I don't know how you didn't catch that bell. I said,
No, I got you.
put it where.
No, it's fine.
You
I
sure?
wanted you to
Okay.
go ahead and get it. I was talking. I went Constitution, man. I went Constitution with it. Anyway,
Also, there's a new report out
from
I
the
say new
CDC.
report.
It's
It's
not new.
It's not a new report.
It's newly rediscovered.
It is a survey that is discovered that
Newly rediscovered.
newly rediscovered. It is almost as confusing as it sounds, but we'll piece it apart later. But basically, from the CDC has numbers confirming, or I say confirming, but basically punching holes in the anti-gun
Lobby.
lobby, but speech, rhetoric,
Everything.
garb, blah, blah, blah. And we'll dive into those. It'll be fun later.
Then we have a little bit of comedy, hopefully.
We always have comedy.
Yeah, we have a
If
little
nothing
bit of
else,
comedy.
just our faces
But
on here.
as our
comedy
name
enough.
name of our show applies, we have C.F.A.P. It's a brand new degenerative disorder,
It is.
and you
It's-
guys need to know about it just in
You
case.
need to be aware.
You need to be aware of it.
It
and
is genetic, we think.
I think.
Maybe.
Well, it might not be genetic.
Or
It
not.
might be group minded,
tribal.
very tribal.
It's very tribal. Depends on what
Very
team you play
tribal.
for.
Yeah,
But
It
it
really
is.
is.
It's
C.F.A.P.
it destroys lives.
C.F.A.P.
Just keep that in mind.
I'm
Get
just
your
letting you
pens
know.
and
Just
pencils ready.
keep it there.
But we're going to start this off with little Kim,
Kim.
the Un boy. Which we just for giggle's sake we pulled it up. What is this? So the Blaze's picture, which pulled it from CNN,
Yeah, which
has
is
little Kim
hilarious.
sitting there, and he's wearing a black pea coat and a fedora.
Mm-hmm. Good night, Brad.
Yeah, good night, Brad. I give him A for effort. At least he showed up. Bless
Good
his
job,
heart.
guy. Yeah, he looks like Oddjob.
He does look like Oddjob.
He looks like a really fat Oddjob.
He looks.
like a fat Oddjob. He looks. I can't.
I can't.
No,
I can't get past it. And
see, the problem now is fat Oddjob.
Oddjob was fat anyway, but
Yeah, but I'm saying fat Oddjob.
yeah, I know.
That's
So bad.
doesn't sound good.
But
It's-
anyway, so apparently, the reason why we wanted to bring this up, and this is something that has bothered me from get-go. The minute I saw this pop up on my notifications and everything, I was like,
I just
something
gotta-
isn't right. So apparently, North Korea has decided that they are going to stop nuclear testing.
Yes. Stop it. Which is so face value immediately great.
There's something about this that bothers me, and I can't put my finger on it.
It might be. I know that you haven't really looked into it, so it might be.
Well, I've looked into it, but I
might
still
be.
don't have my...
It might be the fact that every regime from North Korea has done this exact thing
There's,
and then turn around like a month later after they sat down and gotten everything they
I was gonna
wanted.
say, yeah, and stuck up a giant middle finger and said, "We're going to do what we want to do."
Exactly.
Oh, I know. No, it's not even that. I mean, that does play a little part of it, but that's not even it.
No?
And maybe it's because seeing this firsthand. Okay, because all the other times I wasn't exactly privy to. I've
Okay.
read about it and I wasn't there to experience it. A part of it thinks it's just how long have they been trying to get North Korea to do this?
Forever.
Forever. And again, as we mentioned before, this is not the first time that they've, we're going to stop. And then
Sandlot
they
reference.
don't stop. Exactly.
Forever.
I was watching. I want to watch that again with the boys. I seen a and anyway, we're not going down that road. But again, maybe it's just the experience of it. But I feel it's one of those, this has become, it led up to this giant thing where all their saber rattling and people are like, we could be at war, nuclear war, and this, that, and the third. And then just all of a sudden,
Hands up.
we're done. Like,
We're done.
oh, no, you got me. And it was not even Trump that did it, but
No.
obviously Trump's touting it as him.
Yes.
It was actually China that did it,
Yeah.
but it's still the point. It's just the way you went. Kim Jong Un was, insane. He is insane. It's not was. He is insane.
In the membrane?
What? And the fact of the matter is that he was sitting there and was, literally they were talking. Granted, it was on Twitter and it was so adorable.
Yes.
But the whole "my button is bigger than your button" thing.
Yes.
That was.
Tell Kim Jong-un that my button is bigger than his button and it has bigger missiles.
And they're smarter. That was more of a
That was-
Bernie Sanders kind of a thing.
Kind of Bernie Sanders thing. Like-
But anyway, it's just there was a point where it was escalating and escalating and escalating, and a lot of people thought, "Oh crap, we might be going to war."
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're like,
dropped
"Oh,
off."
just kidding." I got a phone call and said, "Stop,"
From China.
from China,
It's huge.
and it just there's something about this, and again on face value, obviously for North Korea to do this. Whether it is a temporary thing, whether he suddenly had a change of heart, regardless of what the reason is, this is undoubtedly a good thing. And I don't want to
so far
take away from on face, like you said, face value. I don't want to poo-poo it. But something just doesn't feel right to me, and I may be overly skeptical. I don't know, but
maybe. But so if you were from CNN, like this Mr. Will Ripley, who apparently has been reporting on North Korea for quite a long time, even from inside of North Korea, he was talking to Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah,
about this,
and we've given him just BT Dubs for fast. We've given him so many different accents, and
it's so good.
His voice sounds has been hilarious.
I kind of want to do the one that I was doing earlier.
Go for it. Go for it.
This is an extraordinarily significant development, and frankly, a huge win for President Trump going into discussions with this potential summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Wolf.
Hold on. Stop.
What?
Just for a second, you realize that's not even the same one you did.
I know. I had to go into something else because it wouldn't come up. It wouldn't come up.
So obviously he was doing the Kennedy thing before. It sounded just like JFK. Now this was like Kennedy. JFK with an Irish twist.
Well, I mean, technically it is JFK with an Irish twist. That's what his family's done.
Yeah, no,
that's his entire family.
We're not talking about what he did in the bedroom now. That's
well, at least,
anyway. Continue.
At least it's not Teddy Kennedy taking a dive.
Oh,
that's bad. So bad.
Anyway,
he said, "Wolf, I have to say, I'm really almost speechless here at the at the pace at which North Korea has done this. I have to do it regularly.
Yeah,
now.
but I know that. No, that part's fine. But no, he says, Wolf, I have to say, I'm really almost speechless. And he continues for a whole nother paragraph. Clearly, you're not that speechless. I just felt I needed to make that point. He goes on for another 2 sentences. No, I think you pretty much have enough you need to say.
Anyway, for them, it's an extraordinary development.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't, and it goes back to when Mike Pompeo went secretly over there and had his talks and come back, and and I'm beginning to have a weird sense of, and granted I wasn't there for it, but I feel this is somewhat of a Neville Chamberlain. Peace in their time, kind of.
Well, that's the thing.
And I could be completely wrong. I could be, maybe, the downer side of it.
I think you might be a little wrong on that one, and the reason why I say that is because really, Neville Chamberlain was he was a pussy.
Wow.
He was the weakest and meekest man.
No, and
in public arena.
I agree, but I'm not talking about. I'm not comparing the personalities and the lives of. I'm talking about no. But I'm talking about the attitude that is surrounding it. I'm talking about a insane dictator.
Yes.
Who has the ability and has been killing millions of people completely unopposed on both sides in both of the situations, and then you have a guy who goes over there and comes back, and one of them comes back and says, "Oh, there's peace in our time. It's so great. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal."
But see,
and
Trump
and then on this one, it comes back and he didn't say anything. Mike Pompeo didn't say anything. But the fact is that he comes back and then the media is doing it for him. I'm not saying Mike Pompeo is Neville Chamberlain, but I'm saying the situation is very much, "Oh, I went to talk to him and everything is okay."
Except for in this case, he said, I went over to talk about it. I went over to talk to him, and we're coming to some good agreements. And then Kim himself comes out and says, "I'm going to stop blowing things up."
I got that part, and I get that's where it differs.
Face value, really good. But
something bothers me.
Something stinks in the state of Denmark.
Or something is afoot in the Circle K.
Something foul as a foot?
No, there's a dirty foot in the Circle K.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're doing there. All right, I don't know that one. Man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know that one.
Come on, everyone knows there's a dirty
Welcome
foot.
To the Quickie Bar.
No, dirty foot in the Circle K.
By the way, did you know that the guy that does that voice is now getting shamed out of his job?
I know. How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you do a typical stereotypical voice
of very I can.
Of a person that Joe Biden says is the common person.
Well, not just that, but I mean, go to a gas station. Just saying. I don't know.
Goodness.
I don't know, but like I said, it's we're gonna have to wrap it up.
We're gonna have to wrap this up in a second here.
But no, I just there's something about this that bothers me too. And again, it might be nothing, but I don't. When Odd Job comes out and says I'm not going to blow anything up anymore.
Fat Odd Job. Also something you don't want to offer in the bedroom.
Hey-o.
Anyway.
But no, it just it's the minute it comes out, like I said, I've my spidey senses are tingling, and I don't, this is not. I mean, it is good. You hope for the best and expect the worst.
Spidey senses are tingling.
I know, right? And that's
Are you sure that your spidey senses?
It could just be gas. It could just be gas. I did eat rather hurriedly this afternoon. So
did I. Honestly,
hot dogs from Sheetz, man.
Yeah.
$2 for $1.
That's it. That's the deal.
It's a weakness.
It's so good though.
Anyway, before we branch off into food talk, we're going to go ahead and stop it right here, guys.
And we'll take a break.
Do not go anywhere. We are Defenders of American Exceptionalism. You are listening to us live on Facebook and Facebook and Spreaker, YouTube,
Twitter,
Periscope. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back on the other side with a awesome, well, I say awesome story.
With a couple of stories.
We're going to poke holes in the CDC and go into Victimhood.
Oh, yes.
Explain what victimhood is and how it is being taken completely out of context and misused.
Yep.
Don't miss it. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Defenders of American Exceptionalism. We'll be right back.
Money, 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 money. You gotta have it. When you need it, what do? If you don't have a rich uncle, call Lending Tree. With us, hundreds of banks compete for your business, so you'll get loans with competitive interest rates, and in some cases, with no closing costs. So here's the deal. If you need money, call us. Do you want to refinance your current loan? Are you 62 or older and interested in a reverse mortgage? Then call Lending Tree now. 800-469-7208, 800-469-7208. We've closed over $250 billion in loans. We know what we're doing and can help you. Call right now for a free quote. 800-469-7208, 800-469-7208, 800-469-7208. That's 800-469-7208. NMLS number 1136.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
800-942-3078. 800-942-3078. Again, that's 800-942-3078.
Welcome back. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
We love you guys so much. Oh, we're just reading the comments as we go through, and
we are
the break, and
we are, dude. We monitor all this stuff, dude. You guys are awesome. Sheets death dog that's pulling the pin on a major gut grenade.
Wendy, what is a not dog? I just have to ask. What is a not dog? If you're talking about like a vegan dog, if it's a vegan dog, I am going to be so upset. Ones that, I'm going to be so sad.
It's not the same. It's not
I'll be so sad.
It's not real meat.
So sad.
It's what is it? It's
soy.
It's 100% organic. It's meat and protein free.
It's made of soy. Soy.
It's got little traces of hemp in it. Adds the stringiness of it. Adds the toughness.
Oh God.
Dude, they will make anything out of hemp. And I'm not kidding.
Lord.
You've never seen the stuff that you can make out of
know
hemp? Dude, I'm not kidding you.
Good Lord.
No, I know.
What is wrong with you?
Like a monkey humping a football. Anyway.
That's so bad. Speaking of monkeys humping footballs, the CDC, apparently there's a newly discovered CDC survey about... it's actually about the use of guns in a defensive measure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, you know what we didn't do?
What?
We're live on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
As we mentioned a second ago.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter.
Yes.
At DOA Show.
Mm-hmm.
Tweet at us. Follow us. Share this with all your friends. Please, please, please. That's the key, is sharing it with everybody. We can only do so far. We need your help.
Yeah,
also,
they would ban us if we kept sharing the same stuff.
Yeah.
So we need you to do
frowning
that.
on this. And real fast, I wanted to do this. I meant to catch it, and my brain went. I started imagining a monkey humping a football.
Which you do all the time.
I do all the time.
It's called a squirrel.
Next Saturday. Saturday, we have big news.
Oh.
We will be launching.
That's it.
Make sure you're here. That's all you get. That's all you get right now. But yeah, do not miss next week's show. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Not
Wednesday,
next Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
Next Saturday.
Saturday.
Be here for that. Big stuff.
Okay.
Get excited. Anyway.
Now that everybody's gone.
Yeah, I know. Now that everyone's like...
We're going to continue, dude. We're going to continue on with the story here.
The CDC from the Daily Wire.
Yes.
The newly discovered statistics from the Center of Disease Control, which is also known as the CDC, that were never released to the public.
Really? Wait, hold on. What? Huh?
Yeah, I know. Weird,
never.
Right? The CDC didn't put out, never released something. This is the statistics show that guns are used in a defensive manner against crimes far more than they are used by criminals to commit crimes. Isn't that a coinky-dink?
Weird.
Isn't that odd? And people wonder why it doesn't show up anywhere. A new report from the Florida State University criminologist Gary Kleck shows that recently unearthed surveys from the CDC, which were never made public, show that the Americans use guns in millions of defense scenarios every year on average.
So,
like... Now, just before we go into this, is something we were talking about earlier. Was it's bad enough that obviously this stuff doesn't get released, but it's just one more little. I want to call it a lie for what it is. Way of being manipulated, of being lied to, where they've manipulated the argument into their favor, because you have this where they purposely hide it, saying that, guns are used in a defensive manner. And then when you turn around and throw out the gun numbers, the gun death numbers, then they start throwing in people that are killed by police officers in a, in a crime situation.
Right.
Suicides.
Yeah.
Sometimes the numbers are even just people who brandish the weapon, period.
Right.
And they clump them all into one thing and then shroud it under the argument of, well, these people are dying from all these guns. It's just so horrible. At face value, yes, they are dying by these guns. But we've completely omitted the logic and basically personal responsibility at that point. Because if you're not trying to rob a bank or piss a cop off to the point where they feel that they're threatened, you probably wouldn't get shot.
Probably.
Probably. Weird. I'm making this up as I go along.
So this is from the new findings and such are actually reported in Reason magazine. So Kleck conducted the most thorough previously known survey data on the questions in the 1990s. His study, which has been harshly disputed in pro-gun control quarters, indicates that there were more than 2.2 million uses, defensive uses, of a gun in America in a year. Any year. Didn't matter. Any year. Now, Kleck has unearthed some lost CDC survey data on the question. The CDC essentially confirmed Kleck's results, but Kleck didn't know about any of that until this past year when he actually found it out. Because the CDC's report was never reported.
Of course it wasn't.
So it was never found. Which is kind of funny. Kleck discovered that the CDC asked about defensive use of guns in its behavioral risk factor surveillance systems analysis. So the BRFSS.
The
BRFSS. Yes. In 1996, 97, and 98. The CDC,
hold on. I thought acronyms were supposed to be like
easier to pronounce.
For convenience, and that's just a giant pain in the tail.
Well, I mean, behavioral risk factor surveillance systems.
I still would rather hear that than BRFSS. Just saying.
So the CDC survey, which Kleck describes as high quality, asked respondents, during the last 12 months, have you confronted another person with a firearm, even if you did not fire it, to protect yourself, your property, or someone else? Reason notes that the survey instructed respondents to leave out incidents from occupations like policing when using a firearm as part of the job, and excludes instances where firearms were used in a defensive manner against animals. So basically what they're saying is you can't say this as a cop, and you can't say this when you're fighting off an animal. It has to be person to person, and it has to be personal time. Okay. So one key point that Kleck noticed is that the only people who were asked that question were people who admitted to owning guns. That's a problem, obviously.
Well,
well, wait. You admitted to owning a gun. Have you ever brandished a gun ever in a defensive manner, even if you haven't owned one?
Well, why? Well, hold on.
Why would you answer that question?
Well,
why would you answer that question? I'm just saying.
I don't know. Oddly enough, I started thinking, well, how would you answer the question like that? I can say that I've never brandished a weapon that I didn't own. I carried a weapon that I didn't own, but I never brandished it.
I mean, I've carried a weapon that I haven't owned, but I've never had to brandish it in defense.
No, me neither. Well, does aiming a flashlight at it in the dark count?
No, because we're not talking about a cat or an animal. We're talking about people.
No. I'm talking about people.
Oh.
Like, for real. So, I don't know if this counts. Like, sidebar real fast. There was a stretch where I used to repo cars. I did it for about 8 years. And I carried a gun, all of it, and never once I got into one shoving match. Never once pulled a gun. Never once got into a fight beyond that. Okay? Treat people like people. It's weird what happens when you do that.
Yeah.
But so that's how it happened. But there was one night this guy started to try and make a giant,
big fuss,
butt out of himself. And he come off the stairs and was coming at me, and I had the gun on my side, and I mean, didn't have conceal at the time, so it wasn't mine. It was my boss's gun,
right?
And I had it there, and I had the flashlight. I'm holding it like this, and then as he's coming at me, I flipped it down so he could see, because it was dark otherwise. And
that's called brandishing a weapon.
That's what I'm saying, and I showed
that is considered brandishing.
So
a weapon.
I fit okay.
Yes.
See, but I never pulled it out though.
That's still considered brandishing a weapon.
It's weird how
that's still a defensive use of a weapon, as stated.
It probably is.
As stated. Yes.
God knows they always take it to.
Hey, bro, I have a gun. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's like
that's all you needed to do. So basically, so here's the big hoopla: the 2.2 million a year. What this does is this literally blows out of the water the National Crime Victimization Survey, which very conservatively lowballs the number at 100,000 uses per year. And that's the number that everybody uses, 100,000 defensive uses a year. That's what everybody uses as like the number.
Yeah.
So it goes from that to 2.2 million
that's,
in a year, and you're talking about that's how many people's lives technically were saved, or people were unharmed because they brandished or show a defensive use of a weapon, whether they fired, whether they didn't fire, whether they all they did was just show the weapon, as in your case. Hey, look, here it is. Don't get cocky.
Yeah. Think about what you're doing.
Yeah. Exercise your rights of understanding.
The thing about it is, and we brought this out. I mean, if you take a moment, if you have even an inkling of a thought of common sense in your brain, this would make sense from the beginning. Because, like you said, the 100,000 number is touted everywhere, constantly,
everywhere. That's defensive use.
What, 300 something million guns?
Oh, there's more guns than people.
Yeah, in the United States.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me, out of all of those guns that are floating around out there, that only 100,000 people used them defensively?
I'm sure there's...
Yeah. And the rest were all out of murders, and yet the murder rate
is way lower.
Is
by
dropped?
Percentage. Yeah, every year, it's been dropping slowly.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Right.
Anyway, that's that. I'm sorry, but it's a crock, and people would just stop and figure it out, but no, everybody wants to be sheep. Sheeple.
You globalist sheeple. Sorry.
Globalist. Love it.
Oh, it's good times.
It does. It makes me giggle a lot. All right.
So,
since we've done that, we're going to go into one other thing that we've kind of done before, or started doing.
Yeah.
And people seem to be fairly responsive to it.
Yeah. So
it's a little thing we like to call Defenders Defining.
Right.
Where we will pick a word or
phrase
or something that is being touted around, and is they're using it in a way that it's not meant to be used, and everyone is,
or it's overused,
and it's becoming very convoluted and just horribly used for manipulation purposes. And what we've thought about trying to do is we want to bring it back to a place where everyone is talking on the same level.
Right.
And so
we have the word victimhood. So there's really only one definition of victimhood. And it's the state of being a victim.
Ta-da! Very simple. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We will see y'all. No, I'm kidding.
No. Very simple, very easy. But the reason why we brought this up is because there's been a ton of news lately about victims and being a victim of this and a victim of that and a victim of everything.
There is literally
of society,
a victim of everything.
You are a victim of everything. Well, no. It's a state of being.
Well, wait, hold on. You're not a victim if you're a white, cis, Christian.
Yeah, well, yeah,
male.
Of course, right. I am the only one that is an oppressor, even though I do not oppress a single freaking person. Well, technically, I can't say that. I do rule my house with an iron fist.
I was going to say, I literally, my brain's going, I'm sure your children would argue that point.
They might argue that, but
I know mine would. But yeah.
That's called sparing the rod and spoiling the child.
Hey, you keep your Bible stuff to your church.
Oh, that's oppressive. I'm sorry. Anyway.
But yeah, and it's true. We threw it out there, the idea that a lot of people will complain left and right about being a victim.
Mm-hmm. So
the problem with it is that, and everybody throws this out before, the problem with being, everybody being a victim in one aspect or another ends up taking away from people who truly are victims.
Yes. It literally takes the ability of somebody who is an actual victim away from them. It takes the effect of actually being a victim away from them. So here is what a victim is. One that is acted on and usually adversely affected by a force or an agent. Or, conversely, a living being sacrificed to a deity or a god in a religious rite.
It's weird how you the difference in that, isn't it?
There's two very dramatic differences here.
It's like someone who's inconvenienced and then you're sacrificed.
It's not just convenience, but acted upon adversely. So somebody who is affected in a negative fashion by everything around them that surrounds them, or by it's by an agent. It's not by a world around them. It's by something, someone.
Yeah.
So it's, or you can go into this: one who is harmed or killed by another, especially by someone committing a crime or an unlawful act. Not saying somebody is mean, not a mean person. That's not what we're talking about. Because
that's emotions and feelings.
Yeah, you're not a victim of a mean person. You're a victim of somebody who actually does something that is criminal, that is unlawful. Somebody who has harmed you physically. Somebody who has actually harmed you mentally. Not just made you feel uncomfortable because they brought up an opinion that you don't like.
Yeah, weird how that seems to be the narrative today. It
could also be somebody who is harmed by or made to suffer under a circumstance or a condition, like a victim of war.
Yeah.
Or a victim of an illness.
Yes.
A plague. You are a victim of a plague. Well, a plague on both your houses, if you guys don't understand that you aren't reference. Victims. Yeah, if you don't understand that reference, first off. But secondly, you aren't a victim in a politically correct world. You aren't a victim. You are the oppressor.
Yep. Weird how that works out.
If you claim that you are a victim and you say that somebody else needs to shut up because they're hurting you, you are the oppressor in a politically correct world. You are trying to force yourself very incorrectly onto somebody else.
Yeah, and it's the way we were putting it out, and we had this discussion. I'm sorry, I was not ignoring it. Everybody's like,
you were
I'm looking
through
our discussion. We had this discussion like Monday.
Yeah,
and we've been talking about this for a little bit. And what the way we put it is you know, victimhood is in the grand scheme of it all based off of everything that involves the definitions and everything that it's. You know, victimhood is a state of being a perpetual victim.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. That's one of the main things. Translation, it can be every case in every way, which actually also crosses into being what we like to call a pity party.
Yes.
Okay? If every little thing goes your way, you're a victim of gender bias or whatever. It's
whatever it is.
At that moment you become a victim. That's why they always used to say, "Well, don't I will not be a victim. Don't allow yourself to become a victim." Blah blah. That's
okay. It's you allowing yourself to be a victim.
It's you allowing it exactly.
You are allowing yourself to become a victim. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, but somebody goes to war. Mm-hmm. Like we send our guys off to war, and they come back and they're missing arms. They're in pain. They're
or they lose their lives.
They lose their lives.
Those are victims.
Yeah.
Those are victims. Those
but the ones that come back aren't if they don't want to be.
Exactly.
They come back. We dang, I forgot his name. Tim.
Oh yeah, Tim.
Who's going out on a book tour right now, and he's going out talking to everybody about his book that he's written, about the book that he's written, and getting up, pulling himself up by his bootstrap. Yeah, handicap. Lost both of his legs, and
Josh.
Is that
Joshua?
Yeah, his real name is Tim.
Yeah, I know, but
Josh. Yeah,
I keep seeing him on Facebook.
I know
Joshua,
that's because
he
changed his name on Facebook, which screws you up.
He did.
Anyway,
little jerk. Yeah, no, I know.
But he's not a victim.
He's not a victim by any stretch of the imagination, and that's what I was getting ready to say.
He changed his perspective on things and made it so that he was a conqueror over whatever state that he was in.
This is one of the so if a person chooses to live in a state of victimhood, which again goes back to you were allowing yourself to oh poor pitiful me, regardless of the situation.
Right.
Regardless of the situation.
No matter what it is.
It could be from losing a limb, or it could be this
person didn't act nicely to me.
Yeah, they hurt my feelings.
They put in 2 extra sugars when I asked for 3.
Yeah, bastards. People who choose to live in a state of victimhood, they do it by always assuming that someone's intent is nefarious. Number one, that's one of the biggest problems we do nowadays is we do not give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Every time somebody does anything that goes against us in one level or another, we get our panties in a wad going, and automatically assume the worst. Not that people are not perfect and make mistakes or just not paying attention. No,
Right.
no, it's deliberate. So there's your first problem.
Right, but then again, we always give ourselves the benefit of the doubt.
Always, but we don't give it to anybody else.
Right, we always believe that we are in the right
Yep.
in any situation, no matter what goes on, and that's kind of our problem.
Yeah, how do you expect people to give you the benefit of the doubt, or if you're not giving it to other people?
Right.
Just throwing it out there.
Once again, that golden rule thing.
I know, weird.
It's crazy how that works.
But yeah, they assume that someone else's intent is always nefarious, which then leads to trying to say that murder is bad, but a white man killing a black man is worse because they assume the artificial construct that it is racially motivated. That goes into something that's always bothered the ever-loving snot out of me, is how we've been able to go on any level. But we'll go for the sake of argument and time. We'll bring up race.
Mm-hmm.
It's always easier to a hate crime is worse than the actual crime. So if I kill you,
Right,
whether I scream out, I hate black people
or not.
You're
a white guy killing a black person.
I'm a white guy killing a black person, so it's automatically thrown in there. It's automatically understood as a thing, and it's automatically kind of played into the mix instead of. This dude just killed another person for,
whatever
doesn't
reason.
matter what the reason is.
Now we
took
have to
a
find
life.
those. Yeah.
And that goes back to what we were talking about before about not having respect for
Other people.
For other people and for life. We're not being consistent. We're trying to somehow or another make people victims.
Right. And to Wendy's point, yes, all crimes are hate crimes.
Yes.
Because they are all derivative from hating something or someone about something. So just want to leave you on this note. Victim.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Latin victima.
Really? We're
Okay.
doing
I'm doing
Latin?
this. Oh, no. Here's the go. Etymology from a Proto-Indo-European whack, which means to choose, separate, or set apart. And also same source, Proto-Germanic, wicha, which is a sacred place or thing. Or in the Gothic, wech. Or in English, witch. A victim is a witch. You're a witch if you're a victim. Get over it. Stop being a witch.
And it's on,
Stop being a witch.
Wicked, what is that? Wiktionary?
Wiktionary. Wiktionary says you're a witch if you're a victim.
So-
Stop it. Stop being a witch.
Don't
Burn
be-
all the witches.
Oh, ban the witch, ban it. Okay.
I'm gonna get so much.
That
hate
is,
mail
you
from
realize
that.
that's the second Monty Python reference tonight.
I know, it's good. You're doing great.
I wonder if we can go for a third before the show's over with. I don't know. We'll see.
It's not dead yet. You're done.
Just turn me into a newt.
A newt?
I got better. All right. Someone, I could do this all day.
Oh,
all
good
day.
times. It's good times. Anyway, we're going to stop
We
here.
are going to take a break. We are Defenders of American Exceptionalism. Don't go anywhere. On the other side, you don't want to miss the new...
It's a new phobia.
It's a phobia. That was the word I was looking for.
It's an
New
epidemic.
phobia, and you need to be aware of this. Defenders of American Exceptionalism, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 866-657-8517. 866-657-8517. That's 866-657-8517.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at Lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
And welcome back. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism. We are live on Facebook, on Twitter, at patreon.com also, /DOAE show.
Yes.
Go to patreon.com. Help us keep the lights on.
Get some swag.
Yeah, we do. We got some decals and stuff. And there might be some other stuff coming soon.
Very, very soon.
You guys are making this way too much fun.
Oh, it's so good. Look at you guys.
It's only a flesh wound.
Mm-hmm.
You're bleeding. I love that one. The Black Knight skit. It's the greatest. So good.
But your arms are cut off.
It's only a flesh wound.
Come over here. I'll bite your ankles off.
You're a loony. All right. We'll call it a draw.
So good. So good.
I'm going to have to go home and watch that movie now. You know what? Maybe that's what we ought to do.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Sorry, I can't help myself. Hello, Paul. Hello.
Attack.
Hi, Paul.
Attack. Run away. Run away.
Oh, goodness.
No, I'm
Sorry. Can't. Oh, it's good times.
How'd they get the coconut here? No.
What's that?
You know what's bad? I'm thinking.
Was that a European or African swallow? A what?
Two of them flown over here, carried it between them on a string.
How'd they get the string?
West African swallow, maybe, but not a northeastern one. See, we need to stop doing this. We do this all night.
Do this every day. That really could be a bad idea.
No, I was going to say, I wonder if we just for giggles' sake, if we ought to not have an underlining show theme on the show.
One of the shows.
Like tonight was in accidentally Monty Python, and maybe Wednesdays can be Blazing Saddles or
a black sheriff.
No, the sheriff is a bee. The sheriff is near.
Speaking of which, remember that Texas bar? Texas bar. So there's a bar in Texas that apparently had to take that word down.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I'm not even going to worry about it because you know what? There's something that we need.
You can't drop that and not mention it.
No, that is all I have to say about it.
They did well. In all fairness, you have to finish at least the story. So what happened was they had had a bar in Texas in Fort Worth. Had a customer who was constant, always in there, very very loyal customer.
Okay.
Kind of, Anyway, and apparently this individual had a habit of saying "shut up" N-word.
All right.
Okay. So when this individual died, this lady Teresa Kidwell died, they put a sign up, kind of in her honor, that just
personified her.
Yes, that said "shut up N-word," and then had rest in peace Teresa Kidwell 1/15/16 when she died. And so
that's amazing.
Yeah, and apparently what happened is these two cats from a competing bar walked in, and then they saw it and they got offended, and
so
nobody else in the bar cared. Like,
basically, it got taken down because two guys of a competing bar wanted to mess with the people that
they wanted to be a victim.
Exactly. Ooh. They claimed victimhood, and thus they ruined the fun for everybody.
Fun suckers. That's all they are. Giant fun suckers.
That could go so many different ways. Speaking of fun suckers, let's talk about Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So, what do you love best about Chick-fil-A?
Polynesian sauce.
Really?
It's actually really good.
See, I'm allergic to chicken, so the best thing I can get is a milkshake and fry.
Well, I was going to say, but you get the Polynesian sauce and some of the waffle fries and a cookies and cream milkshake with whipped cream and cherry BT dubs. I'm telling you, Fat Boy could slip into a diabetic coma just on those milkshakes.
That could be, yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm talking bad enough that Wilford Brimley will come out and tell you what the right thing is to do.
Son, you have diabetes.
He was so good because he's like that mustache.
Do you have diabetes?
The only Wilford Brimley from Banyan Hill. You got diabetes? I do.
No, see, you have to do it. You have to do it in his voice.
Hi, this is Wilford Brimley from Branford Hill. Do you have diabetes?
I do.
I do.
Do
you need to get rid of the sugar? I do too.
You have a high case of the sugars?
I do too.
The problem with that, though, just sidebar off this real fast. Problem with Wilford, I said a problem. The problem with trying to mock or impersonate Wilford Brimley is the fact of the matter is this is one of the few men on the planet that had a mustache that when he spoke,
it moved.
Well, no, it didn't move. You heard sound, and all you saw was the lip right here moving.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, his top lip never moved.
That top lip, oh my God.
It was steady. He just
it's like...
Do you have diabetes?
I can't even do it, and it was so amazing.
That was good times.
Even when he got heated.
It was stoic.
It was amazing. But
anyway, I wonder if he got really upset, like if it started to twitch. That would be amazing.
You knew he was mad because you could see it moving.
We got like 2.5 minutes. All right, so we got to go through this.
There's apparently a phobia.
There's a phobia of Chick-fil-A, and it happened in New York, nonetheless. So Chick-fil-A has they've opened up 4 or 5 stores in New York City. In the greater New York City area.
BT Dubs, if you've never been to New York City, is very like this the first time it's ever happened. New York City does not have...
They don't have Chick-fil-A's. And so now they have Chick-fil-A's. And they think that Chick-fil-A is trying to evangelize New York City with their creepy infiltration of the Big Apple and warns against companies' pervasive Christian traditions. You see, they're upset over the fact that things like they donate an estimated 17,000 pounds to the local food pantries for the homeless and the hungry each and every year.
Because that's a horrible thing to do in New York City, right?
They're terribly crazed about the fact that, Chick-fil-A is a private business based on merits and based on wanting people to work hard and be honest and have integrity, and they have Christian values,
which is really hard to have, by the way, in a union state,
right? So and their corporate mission is to glorify God.
How dare them?
And so
bastards.
The people at the New Yorker are heartsick.
Well, and not just that. You know what really gets them in the hole? I think it's not even just that. Those are big problems, but I guarantee you what their biggest issue is.
The cow?
No. That's a good one. But no. It is literally the only thing in New York City that shuts down
on Sundays.
No, period.
Oh yeah, because
virtually everything stays open. Literally, I mean, there's a couple places here and there.
That's
closed,
exactly what it is.
But for the most part, everything is open 24/7 in New York City, and this is the one thing that on Sundays is closed for 24 hours, and they don't know what to do with themselves.
That's right.
They're like, "What is this closing you speak of? How dare you?
Anyway,
I want to buy some."
Chick-fil-A is expanding everywhere. Everybody should be very, very happy about that, except for everybody in New York who believe that Chick-fil-A is of the devil, even though they're evangelizing for Christ,
they're evangelizing.
Which is really funny. And yes, Lance, yes, Dylan is auditioning for a cover band of the Village People. He is trying to be the construction worker.
I hate you so bad right now. I hate you so bad. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. And I feel bad, like we kind of running so late that we didn't get a chance to actually
talk to
address you guys on air, and I apologize for that.
Sorry.
We will stick at it better going into it next week. There are things going on. But anyway, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Don't miss the show. We'll see y'all then. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.